guys, this is Svetlana from Comic Cosplay, and 2019 is almost over. So I thought I'm doing one very last video for this year, and today I'm going to show you how to build the Master Sword from Legend of Zelda. In one of my previous videos, I already showed you how to build a shield. And if you have a shield, you also obviously need a sword, because attack is the best defense. I made this project especially for you, so I kept everything very simple and beginner friendly and used only very basic tools and materials. So if you have some time during the holidays and want to craft something really cool, this is just the perfect project for you. And if you are not into crafting during the holidays, that's totally fine as well. You can also just relax, enjoy the Christmas season, drink some hot tea, maybe read a book, and well, maybe even read a book about making a sword and a shield and whatever on comiccosplay.com. Buy my books. And now, let's start the video. As always, Benny made me a blueprint for the sword in Adobe Illustrator first. You'll find a link to the digital download in the video description below. Next, he printed it out over several pages and I taped them together. After I cut out the rough shape with my scissors, I got this perfect template to work with. This is also the part where I usually check if the sword actually fits my own size. As you can see, I cut some extra smaller parts out of the pattern. These were then traced onto 5mm and 10mm high density EVA foam. Same goes for the whole blade. For props like these, I prefer to use high density foam, since it's a lot more sturdy and much easier to sand. Anyway, here I had to trace plenty of elements several times. My main tool for this was my freshly sharpened box cutter, as well as this handy circle cutter. Here I needed several layers as well. And this is how all the rough elements looked like once I was done cutting. As you can see, I used this PVC pipe for the grip. First, I had to finish the blade though. For this part, I worked with two 10mm layers of foam. I cut in a little V-shaped gap into the middle on both sides and filled these with contact cement. Then I placed a metal rod in the middle and connected both layers with more glue. Next, I used my pattern again to mark the sharp edge of the blade. To save some time, I carved most of the material away with my box cutter first and then used my Dremel to smooth out the edges. Finally, I worked over it by hand with sanding paper to get rid of any leftover bumps. To attach the grip, I had to use this round foam dowel. I covered one half with glue, attached it to the exposed metal rod, and added the counterpart on top. Afterwards, I carefully slid the PVC pipe over the foam. Next, I sanded this middle part of the grip. Once done, I cut some material out and attached this piece to the sword as well. Next, these side wings. Again, I used my patterns to make some markings, glued all layers together, carved the shape roughly with my box cutter, and finished all pieces with my Dremel. As you can see, I glued together two parts here, since I thought it would be easier than making one massive piece. The result, however, didn't really turn out as smooth as I hoped. So here is the second try, but this time all in one piece. Doing this was clearly more tricky, and sanding everything took forever. But the second attempt looked so much better. So finally, I was able to spread some contact cement and attach the parry bar. Now I only had to cut, sand and glue together a few more missing details. This round piece here would come to the end of the grip. Following this, only a few more smaller parts were left to do. Like this emblem here, and the little gem on the top, as well as the weaving around the grip. For this, I just cut out a long thin strip out of 2mm foam, secured each spot with some super glue, and kept wrapping it around my grip until I was done. Last but not least, my blade was only missing its legendary Triforce symbol. And with this done, the foam build of my Master Sword was complete. I was really happy with the result. Now, if I would have to build it again, I would probably use a more sturdy metal or carbon fiber rod for the core. It's maybe a little bit hard to see, but the sword definitely has some wobble to it. Next, I heat sealed the surface of the foam with my heat gun, and Benny primed it with Flex Bond. He applied 3 thick layers in total. As you can see, it's not 100% smooth or without brush strokes, but I wanted to use only very basic tools and materials for this tutorial, so all of you at home can do this as well. So instead of using his airbrush like Benny usually does, I asked him to only paint the sword with simple brushes and acrylics. He wasn't too happy about it, but I think he still did a really awesome job here. First, he primed the blade with a grey base color, and then mixed up a bunch of different shades of blue for the grip. He actually used this figurine for reference. Next, he added some lighter shades of purple blue to the wings to make them look more interesting, and then used this paint for the silver blade. The last steps were to paint some more details in gold, add a few light blue lines to the wings, and paint the grip wrappings in green. And that was pretty much it. Finally, a last layer of satin spray varnish and Benny was done with the paint job. I'm really happy how the final sword turned out. So this was video number 30 in 2019. Benny and I are super proud of that since we never made so many before, and we really hope you enjoyed as much watching them as we enjoyed making them. At this point, thanks so much to all of you who keep on watching our videos. And also thanks so much for all your likes, all your shares, all your comments, and a huge thank you goes to all of you Patreons for supporting us for every single video. Without you, it wouldn't be possible to be that active on YouTube. Thank you very much, guys! For 2020, I first want to finish some older projects like Brigitte and also Aloy. And I also have some cool other projects in mind. And especially I also want to do more tutorials, more talks, and I don't know, like more weird stuff. So if you're missing something on this channel and something you really would like to see, let me know in the comments down below. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really hope you liked this video and maybe you want to craft something really cool now as well. Like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and yeah, consider to support us on Patreon, and see you in the next video in 2020. Bye bye!